Hi everybody, welcome to the TCH110 Foresight Development Wiki-101 tutorial. This is going to be 10 minutes or less because that's all I've got on YouTube, and let's get started. What you're looking at is the home page on the UAT intranet. To get to the wiki, we come over here and we go to UAT Wiki, open it up. Now, there's a lot of important points to get here. I would encourage you to take notes. First thing is, it's probably going to ask you the first time you come here to sign in. You're going to have to use your UAT login. And a critical point, you must log in a second time. You'll see a login up here. And when you create your login account, I'd like you to use your UAT password and UAT user ID again. That just helps to keep things consistent and make it a little easier. And the reason I want you to log in is that you will then have a user page. This user page is where you represent yourself to the class and to me. You must have a photo on it because that helps me to get to know your name by looks. And the user page should also have information about what you're interested in, your hobbies, your majors, a little bit about you. Feel free to upload a couple of other pictures if you want. This is only visible on the UAT intranet, so only people that are going to see this are faculty and other students. The reason you have to log in twice here is so that when you make changes on the UAT wiki, it'll let everybody see who it is that's making those changes instead of just an IP address. This is very important for you because if I don't know who made the changes, you don't get a grade. So make sure that you're signed in twice. Make sure that you can see your user page up here before you make any changes to the UAT wiki. Alright, so why are we using a wiki? Wikis are a great way to collaborate. They're being used widely in the business community. They're even being used for corporate purposes. They cut meeting times. They cut down on email usage. It's a faster way to collaborate because you've got one web page where everybody can contribute. It's a better way to manage knowledge because you don't have to worry about forgetting to CC somebody that needs to see a particular topic. Now, the way that I would encourage you to learn how to use the wiki is come to my user page. There's links off the shell. Hit edit, copy all of the wiki text, and then go to your user page up here, paste it in, make changes, tweak the text for you, and then come down here and hit show preview to make sure that's the way you want it to look, and then save it. Now there's a little box here called summary. A best practice on wikis is to put something in the edit summary. That can be as simple as fixed spelling, added assessment, added content, added new links, whatever. But it lets other people that are subscribed to this page know that what changes you've made. It helps collaboration. It also helps track what you've worked on. Okay? One thing that must be on your page are categories. At the bottom of the page you'll see a couple of categories, and those are added also by lines of text. There is a category for your class. For example, for this semester, it may be category TCH110 Foresight Development Fall 2008 530 for the 530 class. Make sure to get that on your user page because it adds you to your classmates. So you've now got a category of all the other classmates in your class. That helps me when I'm grading the wiki pages you guys are going to be working on. There's also a category Foresight Development, which has several of the articles that will be useful to you throughout this class, as well as links to other classes that have done this before you. So you can come over and see the summer class and get to know some of the students that just went through this. You can also see how what they put on their user pages, and if you like it, borrow some of the content. There's a frequently asked questions page. This is where I would like you to post your questions about Foresight Development, so that if you have a question, the odds are somebody in another section of the class will have the same question, and by posting it here, everybody can see it. A couple of important tools on a wiki. First of all, discussion tabs. Every article has a discussion tab. A discussion tab is sort of like a public bulletin board where you can talk about that particular article. The advantage of using a discussion board over email is that once you've moved on to another class, your knowledge, your conversations are captured here, even after you move on out of UAT. So you may have some great thoughts about a programming language or a mod project that you're working on or whatever. And by capturing them on the discussion board, they're available for posterity. make sure that you sign your names on discussion boards. You do that with 4 tildes, which creates a link to your user page and a date timestamp. It just makes it easier for people to see who's editing and who's leaving notes on the discussion pages. We don't typically sign our names on the main article itself. History tab is an often overlooked tool. This saves every version of the page that ever existed. So be bold, update pages. You don't have to worry about destroying content. If you happen to change something and somebody doesn't like it, they can always go back to a previous version of the page. You can also compare multiple versions of the pages to see how things changed over time. It'll give you a comparison of the old version of the page and the new version. Changes are typically in red. It also shows you links to the user pages of people that have edited the page. Now, for somebody that's editing with their IP address, which means they don't get a grade for it, it's not very helpful. But if you've done a good job of filling out your user pages, people can get to know you and your background, because there may be future opportunities for collaboration. They may discover that you're interested in the same game systems that you are. They may discover that you've got a similar programming background. They may discover you went to the same high school. So on a protected intranet, a wiki can take on a form of social networking where you can get to know other students in your class and other classes. The Move tab up here is used to rename an article, but it not only renames the article, it also moves the discussion board and the history of that article. Another important tool is the Watch tab. Watching basically subscribes you to a page. Very, very important, because if I leave a message for somebody on a discussion tab, you will not know that there has been a question posed unless you're watching that page. Now, if you are watching the page, you're also watching the discussion page, incidentally. It watches both simultaneously. You will either get an email or your watch list up here will be updated. What will happen is you'll have an entry and it'll become bold until you go and visit that page or hit mark all pages visited. So it is critical that you watch all the pages you care about. That's how you're going to get notified when somebody else has changed something. And if they're doing a good job filling out that edit summary, it should be fairly apparent what they've changed. Or you can go in the History tab and compare. You can always get back to what you've worked on by My Contributions. This will show you every article that you've ever worked on. And again, if you've done a good job filling out your edit summaries, it'll be very easy. If I overlook something you've worked on, you can come over to your contributions and you can show me what you've done to make sure that you get credit for your work. I'm looking forward to working with you this semester. If you've got any questions, please let me know. A lot of this is also in the shell in note form, but I thought it would be useful to have a video walkthrough. So again, welcome to Foresight Development, and I'm looking forward to working with you.